Yes, y'all. Once again, it's the Starvyn Show with Aziz
and Pikahsso, broadcasting somewhere from an undisclosed location, somewhere in the world.
Shh, don't tell nobody else.
We're like Starvyn. Yo, man, right now on this episode, this is episode 1. We're about to tell y'all how we started it all.
Man.
Burpadelic. I mean, I keep saying Burpadelic. That's a habit.
Starvyn, man. Don't worry about
Starvyn.
it. Yeah. So check it. Because we were a rap group, the Starvyn Artists, and we hung together. We were in the studio. We're doing all kind of stuff, and it was the Souls of Mischief, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest concert at the Bomb Factory.
Yes.
So we all got together, and we're like, "Hey, man, now I'm gonna keep it 1,000 because it's almost 30 years later. We were literally Hyro fanboys. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you.
And Tribe and all of
De La. Yeah, the stakes is high.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. We look, our apartment was all of that. We had the hieroglyphic stickers everywhere. We had the vintage Blue album. We did all of that. So when that concert came to town, to the Bomb Factory, there was no way that we were not going to go to that show.
If my memory serves me correct, because it was a long time ago now.
Right.
That concert was so powerful to us. We went home, and Aziz and me and James and Mike and Anwar and Swiss said, "Hey man, we're gonna do a magazine." What we did is we printed it up and put a hotline on it. I remember that. A Starvyn hotline, and people was actually calling that off their little mock magazine.
Before we go there, when we left the show, came to the crib, we came home, and me and Mike B just started to write about it.
Yeah.
Like, we were so inspired by the show, we wanted to document our experience of that show. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you how they hit the stage. This is what happened, and next thing you know, I'm 2 pages in, written, and it ended up being like 6 pages long, but once we typed it out, it was only 2 pages. And so Mike was writing about the De La side, and it just all kind of came together. And so we were like, "Hey man, let's print this up."
Yeah, and they put that hotline. Remember that?
Yeah.
That hotline, that first map. I got it at the house. I should have brought it, but that first magazine, we put it up, and everybody was calling it. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's when we knew we was on to something. That's when it was born that day. So thank you to the Souls of Mischief who just left the other day.
Yeah.
Not Far Side.
De La
Soul and A Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Y'all don't realize what y'all done, man.
Yeah, they don't. And, it kind of got to the point where it really was not a magazine. It was really just a 11 by 17 folded piece of paper.
I love that, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Look how I'm smiling.
It was just that. And then, so the decision was, because we were the Starvyn Artists, the rap crew, the clique, but we didn't want to say Starvyn Artists, the magazine. Even though a lot of people still said that, we dropped the artist and just called it Starvyn because, again, we were thirsty for an event like that. And then we wanted to really just tell our story and just embrace and show how grateful we were for that performance and to be able to witness a show like that.
Yeah, man, Starvyn was a powerful entity. Believe it or not, I'm gonna go on the record to say this. BMG was actually interested in signing us. I don't know how legit, but I remember, and that's just off the magazine. The fact that we were rapping with skills and we had that magazine, they was like, I guess they thought we was like some Wu-Tang or Souls of Mischief type vibe. That's what was in back then. In 93, 94, that real complex, obtuse rap style that we were doing. So it was pretty much interesting when we went up there. So like we said before, Billy Bowles and all them guys, Terry McGill, Terry McGill. Remember him?
Yes.
Scotty brother. Shouts out to him. He was part of that too, helping us out. But it's just a lot of powerful things that happened. And then from there, we put the second issue out, didn't we?
Well, before we jump to that point.
Okay.
When we had the 11 by 17 in the mix, so we went and because literally we was kind of broke. We didn't have a lot of money.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So we pressed up. How many? Like about 500 of them?
Yes. The guy off Abrams Road pressed it. I can't think of his name, but thank you to the Hispanic guy.
Yeah.
Juan, I'm not trying to be stereotypical. I'm going to say Juan or Mario. Thank you. That was wrong.
Right. So we got like about 500 of those with our money, and it was free. So, and this was a photocopy. This wasn't a print job. So we folded them and
Yes.
we took artists off, and I did this quick rendition of the word Starvyn that's still right there. I thought I was real dope back then. And so we did that, put it on there, put some logos, and then we hit Deep Ellum the next weekend.
Yes, man.
And the world changed because all of a sudden we went from some guys trying to get some mic time on stage, and we kept getting deboed from doing that, to everybody is talking about this magazine, which wasn't a magazine, and we weren't going to do anything beyond that one.
It
thing.
really wasn't even a magazine. That's what
Yes.
I love about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
It
but
wasn't.
it became.
Yeah.
That's
it
why,
became
you know, and I know Aziz, I keep going. I'm a stickler. I'm stuck. Yeah. My mind is like a warp, like a loop. I keep being stuck on that hotline. That impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I like, we got people actually calling. That was like the internet to us back then.
Right.
Back then, we didn't have the internet. So a hotline and phone numbers meant a lot back in 94. Like, they calling us?
Right.
So
it was the pressure. The people put the pressure on us to do the magazine. The people told us, hey, man, that's dope. Y'all, where's the second issue? And we was like,
man,
what?
We weren't even planning that.
Yeah, the second. Well, yeah, because,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
It's coming, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know us. We going to do it.
That's James Brown lyric. Moving?
Yeah.
Moving?
Second issue. Y'all know we working on that, you know, and we did. We got in the lab, and we went from an 11 by 17 to the next issue.
It's like a
being
blue one.
like
Yeah, Tupac and Snoop on there.
Tupac and Snoop on there.
And we didn't even interview them.
And we just was writing the magazine. But
Thank
when
you,
we
Snoop.
did that, it went from literally a piece of paper folded to like 20 pages.
Yes.
You know, and we had to fill in the gap. And that's when we decided to say, hey, let's do the culture and politics. We want to get political, right? White.
Yeah.
And because we were fans as well as artists, we Source had 5 mics, right?
Yeah.
And so we had to do our version of our 5 mics.
And that's
for
my
our
ignorance
review.
came in.
That's when all hell broke loose, when we started to review people's music.
Rumor
when it
has
came
it that a
out.
certain group is made a bar about something that I said in Starvyn. I
They
don't know if
did.
it's true.
They did. They
but
did.
Who's
They
that
did.
group?
I'm gonna say it. Fugees. Y'all will never be back together anyway, and Prize is going to federal prison.
Oh wow.
The Fugees had beef because this guy decides in the magazine he wants to say that Lauren should go solo and the 2 guy rappers are trash. You know what I'm saying? And she's better off without them. And this is Fuji Live.
That
This
was
is
the first album. That's before they put out the second album that
Right.
made them the
Right.
magnum opus album.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you why I did that. Like I said off the camera, the reason why I did that back in the days, I'm a raw South Dallas, Oak Cliff country boy. So I'm like, I'll never meet these guys. I don't like
Right.
it. I'm gonna say what I got to say. I'll never meet them.
Right.
One thing that happened in Starvyn, I don't know if it was just us, how life just centered around us. Whenever we interview or say somebody, they just happen to be in town like that
Yes.
week. So we like, oh my God, we meet her. We on a bus. We giving her the magazine. What are you kidding me?
Yeah. And
After I
here they
said
are.
this,
Here they are. So
Handed it right to
the manager of the Fugees
yeah,
confronted us, you know what I'm saying, at a club outside of he was pissed about what was put in the magazine. But here's our thing. Bitch, you're not in New York. You're in Dallas right now. So we respected his opinion on it, but we were young. We were full of that fire.
Oh, my God.
You couldn't tell us nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when he was rah-rah, we was like, I mean, it's whatever. Like,
it was entertainment. Picasso
Yes.
just being Picasso.
Right.
I'm not thinking that
right.
they did it, but I'm gonna be honest. When it came out in their second album,
Right.
The Score, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Somebody called Picasso. You heard The Score? They played that bar. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can be back then. I don't care. As a grown quinquagenarian, y'all look that word up, boys and girls. I'm a quinquagenarian. That word is very important to this show. I got nervous when I heard that. Like, wow. Even though back then I had this big monolithic personality, don't bother me. But inside my heart was beating so fast when I heard that. I forgot who called me, and one of y'all, hey, because you that bar. I said, I don't care. But deep down inside, like, man,
Yeah.
I done got the attention. What if he is talking about us?
Right.
what if he is? And I was just judging them off their first album,
Right.
which I still say to this day wasn't a good album.
It was not.
Not the first album.
It was.
The score was a dope album.
It was.
I'm just being honest with you, not to me. And anybody can critique anything that I do. I've heard people, Pikahsso, you suck. I can take that. I didn't know it would be like that. So he said something about famine. Famine was like a synonym for starving.
Yeah.
Back then, my
That was the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
Famous like the noodle. You know what I'm saying?
What song was that?
Oh, my God.
Look.
Hey, look, hey, if you remember that line, please make a comment. Comment so we can remember what that line was. So he said the magazine said something and it was famished, which referenced Starvyn.
Yeah.
And we got this.
Back then, my lexicon of words weren't Back then, my lexicon of words weren't where they are now. So I didn't know what famine meant back then. You know, starving, synonyms, and antonyms, and all that kind of thing. But after they told me, I had to look it up. You know, we didn't have the Google to look up stuff. We had to look on the thesaurus back then. Okay, famine, starving. Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
My heart beat fast.
Man,
we
made it though, bro. At that point, I said, we made it. We out there in that world. Who got next?
So you really, I mean, we don't really know, but I'm sure, but do you 100% think he's talking about us?
I absolutely.
Because I got nervous when I heard that back then. And I said it, I'll take full responsibility. I said it, and I'm a little guy, but
and I got his back too. So you know what I'm saying?
But I said it.
Yeah, he said it.
I didn't think we would meet these guys.
Yeah. But you know what? That was lightweight compared to some of the stuff that Pikahsso was saying in music reviews. There was one, I can't recall the artist, but you said, man, as I was driving down 360 and I was listening to this CD and I gave it 10 seconds and I rolled my window down and I flung it out the window like a CD, like a Frisbee. Like it was so raw and so mean.
Can I be honest with you?
You so mean.
I wasn't formally trained in
You're so mean.
But I'm being honest. I'm telling the camera right there. I was not formally trained around. I'm from Lincoln House, South Dallas. We sco. So back then, you know, if you know in Dallas, that's what we do. That's like a term of endearment in Dallas. We sco. Oh, so okay. I'm thinking like, I'm just gonna say to make them laugh. I'm trying to make James and Aziz them laugh. But people was getting offended by that stuff.
His feelings was hurt.
Like, man, that's just me. If anybody know me, I got dark humor, but I'm a good guy at heart. Man. I just like to make people laugh. I'm like, it's gonna be funny. I'm not thinking we doing a magazine that's getting heard by people.
It was everywhere. And
I'm not thinking they're going to respond to this stuff back in 93, 94.
Because we had such a great relationship with all of the music distributors, you know, BMG and
SEMA.
Sony and all of that, you know, we didn't realize that they took our message to the world.
Yeah.
We were still local in everything we did, but they made us national. They took our product and they shipped it to all the regional distributors. So what ends up happening is now Jive is spending money with our magazine and running ads.
They were.
You know, so the new Keith Murray that comes out, we got the Keith Murray ad in our magazine. So we getting real money at this particular point. Now, let me tell you what was funny about all of that. For a slight, about 3-4 months, I don't even know if we were rappers anymore. No. We were literally, you know what I'm saying? We were literally running a magazine.
Yes, man.
Yeah, that was it.
Cause like it's like now, man. It's what we doing now is nothing. It's not more different than what's happening now. You go into where the friction is. Back then, even though it wasn't no internet where you can just look at the analytics. Back then, you could look at the calls and the people not emailing, they calling you. That's what they faxing you coming in. We had faxes back then. They faxing us. I'm like, wow, God. I'm like, wow, this is where the energy at. Right. I'm rapping, but it's more energy when we do interviews, when we interviewing celebrities. Like now, if you interview if a celebrity, if Janet Jackson said right here and interview us, boom, same thing back then. We were smart enough back then and more mentally evolved enough to realize it. So that's where we went from the hip hop into more of like into interviewing. And I'm anybody that know me know I'm hip hop to the core. That
Absolutely.
My blood pumps hip hop. I eat, drink, and I edit. I don't know if we want to cuss on this, but that's what I do. I body mics for a living.
You know what?
That's what I do. But when doing that, I had to become some of what you call it, a journalist or whatever.
Yeah, we had to. But the exposure, what that ended up doing for us is it exposed us to the industry that we wanted to be a part of. So we wanted to be signed to a label, but now we're getting checks from labels without having to be an artist. And we're sitting down with executives, and now they're breaking down how their budget is and how they can give us money to get ads in. Because they say, hey, we got this much going to radio, we got this much going to print, and as an artist, we were dumb to all of that. But so when it went full circle, all of a sudden now we have the overall knowledge of budgets, marketing, you got distribution, how much to press up. And then we're also seeing, no disrespect to any of our friends, but we're also seeing people blow money. So as a artist, you're saying to yourself, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, not my budget. You won't be able to go out and buy everybody a round of drinks and steaks and lobsters on my dime because you showed up with one of my posters. So those are the attributes of the music industry that we learned like the hard way by doing the magazine.
Yeah, basically it was kind of like, I like to call it the Trojan horse effect. If you study, like, if you're into like Greek gods and mythology, all that.
Yeah.
That's how the Trojan horse. That's how they snuck into enemy territory. We were just sneaking in on the industry with the just interviewing artists to get in. Honestly, most of the artists we interview, I want to rap against them.
Yeah.
Like, I want his beats. I want your record deal. That's how we were back then, man.
Right.
I'm keeping it. I'm an older man now. Like I said, I'm a quinquagenarian. Look that word up. Back then, like, man, he rap. I think we better than him.
Think about it like this.
Well, that's what we wanted. Your deal. That meant a lot.
Outkast came in town.
Outkast, Big Boy. Shouts out to Big Boy and Andre 3000.
Shout out to Shanti Shoestring Das.
Yes.
Also, we met her that day when they came in town. These were just some young boys from Atlanta.
They had to be like 19, maybe 20.
Something like that, up in there. And Southern Playalistic just came out.
Yeah.
So we got to hang out with Outkast, and we just chilling, and they're talking about being on LaFace. But we couldn't, is the interview done? Somebody let's put the beat on. It's time
There's
to rap.
actually a freestyle out there, but it got deleted. I'm not gonna say who did it. I said I would, but I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
But it was a freestyle with us, man. So
and we going back and forth.
With
and
3 tracks.
it was a mutual respect because, we were extremely backpack hip hop oriented, and they were on some Southern Playalistic Cadillac funky music type of flow. But when it came down to the beat going, them boys was flowing. Like, you can tell sometimes when you do something for the label or the image, but when somebody can rap. And Big Boy and Dre, they had skills, and it was a pleasure just freestyling.
I can honestly say, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of Andre is like the holy grail of hip hop.
Yeah.
As far as hip hop, people worship. When he puts out a verse, it's almost like the holy grail. So I can honestly say that we were a pivotal part of Andre and Big Boy, some of the first people that interviewed them.
Right.
And I ain't got the footage. I had footage. I wish I can find it. Maybe if somebody got that footage.
If you got it.
Please send me that. Please.
Yes.
Please. Because it had to be done on Super 8 because I had it on VHS.
Right.
It had to be converted. Right. If anybody got that tape, please, I'm getting goosebump pimples. I would love to have that footage. Right. Somebody I know, I had it, threw it away, and I'm not happy with them. We've already had this discussion. So I've been promised to silence. I won't call them out because I've did it before. I'm gonna shut my mouth on that. But Andre 3000 and Big Boy, we was some of the first people to interview them. Yeah. That's facts.
And we put them on the cover. And we blasted to the whole DFW, North Texas.
We still got that cover to show y'all too.
Yeah. So we're gonna put that. You can see that up on the screen. Yeah. All the magazines we're going to show on the screen during this show. And literally, we helped push them in this market because we were such fans of them. And one thing I can say is, it's one thing that for the label to send us an album and say, hey, check this out. It's another when they bring the artist in town and then you all are sitting and chilling. Now when you hear the music, you get a different perspective. So we were getting a different perspective of the music because now it's like we understand, and now we kind of took a little ownership. Like, we cool. These is our people. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are our people. So you know what? We're going to represent them, and we're going to get out there and make it happen for them. And we did that with a lot of people.
See this right here? If anybody think we're making this up, this is the Outkast interview they gave us that day. So matter of fact, Andre 3000 left the S out of my name. You see that?
Yeah.
He left the name out of my name. So anybody think we're making this up? We was a very pivotal part of Big Boy and Andre. That's facts. And anybody that want to do it and want to deny it, you can't deny truth. I believe in facts. So shouts out to Big Boy and our Andre 3000. Matter of fact, when we interviewed Andre, he wasn't even eccentric back then.
No.
He was kind of like a serious kind of cat, like, yeah, what's up? And kind of serious. Right. But over the time, he evolved into the character he is now. So I appreciate Big Boy and Andre signing this for me. I want to show y'all this so y'all know. Because sometimes there might be a few people out there think, oh, they just old, just lying. No. Right. I have no reason to lie. And I like what they call it now, I like receipts. If anybody think we making it up. Oh yeah.
Show the receipts.
I show the receipts.
Show the receipts.
And I will always have love. Every time I look at Big Boy and Andre, like, man, I'm what the hell? Did we even know what they would be?
Nah, I don't think we did. Well, I don't think we did. But I know one thing is that Outkast ended to a certain degree my rap career.
Damn, why you say that?
Because the Soulful Senate with me and Swiss.
Yeah, Soulful Senate. Wow.
We were at, what's the guy studio we just said?
Cedric. Rest in peace to Cedric.
R.I.P. to Cedric.
I didn't know he died. You just told me that. Man.
Yeah, we were recording our project, and white boy Kevin busts in the studio. White boy Kevin says, yo, it's a group came out, sound just like y'all. And he said, but they beats is killing y'all. I was like, man, you got to be kidding, bro.
That's me and Outkast right there.
I remember that. We'll pop that up on the
I just want y'all to know, man, this is me and Andre 3000 and Big Boy and my homegirl Cookie. It's facts over here, man. We're not name drop. I just want y'all to know this.
We're going to send that to Walter.
I just want people to know this is the real deal.
Walter, post-production.
Yeah.
We're going to send that.
I know I'm a little country, but that's just who my personality. I just want to show it on my phone.
Yeah.
But that's how we did it, man. But
it was fun.
But I want you to tell that story again. I have to cut him out. I'm all excited. Yeah. I want you to tell that story how Kevin said about Soulful Senate.
He was just basically saying that it was a group that sounded just like us, or very similar. And I was like, my ego was like, there is no way, not happening, no. And I heard Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music.
That album's so dope.
I was like, man, they beats is incredible.
Organized Noise
and the Dungeon Family. I said, we can't compete with that. We just couldn't. And there was so many similarities that I decided, and that was at the end of kind of our run, but I decided that, they kind of filled a void that I felt like we were supposed to fill, and I didn't rap for about 7 years after that.
You know how humbling you have to be to admit that Andre 3000 and Big Boy is probably one of the dopest MCs you've ever heard. Yeah. Even though as an MC, and I feel like I'm a pretty well-skilled MC, but when I listen to Andre 3000, how he's metamorphosis and how he evolves as a lyricist, his lexicon of words, his dactylogram, how he speaks, he's a linguist.
He's a deliverer.
He is dope. A lot of people will not admit that. I was with this guy one time. He refused. He said, man, so-and-so, I ain't going to say the rapper. He said Andre better than. Hey, come on, man, you just hating. Andre 3000 is dope. It's just facts. I don't know what he's done over the past 30 years, but his lyrical prowess has just elevated to it's almost God-like, God-tier-like level. That's facts. And and I can when I heard him do that, the new song that he did with Killer Mike.
Yeah.
I'm like, it gave me goosebumps.
I mean, it's
he evolved.
He is ether when it comes to lyrics. He is a Elohim of lyrical content. He is one of the seraphims. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to rapping, and for the fact that he does it the way that he does it, there really is no comparison. So, and Big Boy is a cherubim, in my opinion. A cherubim. So you got seraphims and cherubim. And the cherubim are the disagreeables who guard the gate. Those are ones that are necessary, like the angel Michael is a cherubim. He's a warrior angel. So that's kind of how I feel about Big Boy. And Dre is more or less an angelic, I'm floating in the sky. He's like Inky and Lil, you know what I'm saying? Inky is the god of earth and Lil is god of sky.
You see why I'm smiling, man?
Dre is is Enlil, and Big Boy is Inky. And that's, remember back in the day, if you had some Inkies on your ride, then you was rolling.
You know why I'm smiling right now? First of all, boys and girls, this is what you call a Deshin smile. When God has bestowed in you the natural facial muscle, when you do a sincere smile, it's called a Deshin smile. When he was dropping them beautiful knowledge, I love to hear words. It's just like to where I get a mental orgasm just hearing words. It's like orgasmic to me. That's how I am with words. So to hear him just drop them jewels, I want y'all to. We also like propagators of knowledge. So I want anybody to listen to any word like quinquentenarian. I want y'all to look those words up, because when you listen to the Starvyn Show, we also gonna be implementing words like propagating knowledge, because we all about intellect. That's where we came from, the back, like he said, the backpack era. So to hear him spit that knowledge, I like to hear knowledge. You see how I smile? More black men should smile when you hear erudites. An erudite is somebody that's into collegiate and intellect and smarts. That's what they call it, erudite. It's people that's into knowledge. So to hear them say that brought upon a Deshin smile. Look it up. That's when you smile, it's like, that's a sincere smile. And when you do it, it's contagious. Like you smiling over there. Look at my homeboy Walter Johnson, behind the boards.
Junior.
Oh, yeah, Junior for Polytron Network.
Yeah, Polytron.
Oh, my bad.
Gotta drop that.
It's like boom, Polytron. But if it wasn't for them, man, we wouldn't have this beautiful setup we got.
Yeah, definitely shout out. Look, so when we did the Big Mac interview with Craig Mack and Notorious B.I.G., at that time, Biggie was just a dude.
Biggie was negative.
Yeah, he was kind of disagreeable, standoffish. But Craig Mack had flavor in your ear at the time, and he was huge. You know what I'm saying? He is why Bad Boy exists. Even though people think it's about Biggie, it would be no Bad Boy without Craig Mack. And everything about his personality, he was not a standoff dude. He embraced you.
He had a lot of energy.
He had a lot of energy, and everything that you saw in videos and heard in his music, he gave it to you right in person. Because I think that once he got put on, he had gone through so much that he recognized the importance of where he was at that particular time, and he embraced it, and he just took advantage of every single opportunity to speak to any person. And that was a great interview. And that interview is actually up on it's up on the Starvyn Show on the IG page. You can see clips and reels of that.
Yeah, like I said, man, that Biggie interview, I'll be honest, my daughter's impressed by that, by the way. My baby mama's impressed by that. When I posted that interview, sometimes I could look back like, wow, that's Biggie Smalls. And the biggest thing about it, when I watched the movie, I remember them giving us that in a Big Mac box.
Yes.
So that movie is accurate. I had that Big Mac box. Why did I throw it away? Yeah. If you listen to me, man, keep your hip hop artifacts. When I watch, I'm getting goose pimples, my nigga. Anybody out there watching this shit? When I watch the movie, this is Biggie. This is Craig Mack. We had that box. I had it, the Big Mac. They put it in a Big Mac, the old carton. It came in a tape. It had me and my bitch had a Minnie Riperton sample. They switched it up when the album came out. I know that for a fact. Right. It had the original album had I get goosebumps because I know Puffy don't know the little guys in Southern had something to do with his artist. P. Diddy don't know that. You little country boy, we was a part of that. You don't know that. We got this in the mail. We interviewing it, put him on the front cover. He had the KKK shirt on the front. Yeah. Biggie. I'm like, wow. I'm the one put it online. Like, wow, we really didn't know. And I seen that box. I'm throw this in the trash. When I looked at that movie, like, wow, that was history I threw away.
Yeah.
I threw away history. But I can tell you these stories. You can go look online. You can go look online and see the Biggie and Craig Mack interview, man. It's like, wow. And Craig Mack, and when I seen Craig Mack and a part of that cult he was in and the way he died, I felt like that was a part of my soul that died with Craig Mack. You don't know, when you interview and you rocking with these artists, you feel they pain too. There's a lot of people that think they can play with me. You can't play with me. I done got broke behind this. And I look at Craig Mack, he passed away of some disease. I'm looking at him. This Craig Mack, beautiful spirit. I didn't know him, but I'm looking at his film. His spirit resonated through the tape, and to watch how he went out, and people just didn't care no more for what he gave to the hip hop. And like, I back what Aziz said. If it weren't for him, it wouldn't have been no Bad Boy.
No, it wouldn't have been no Bad Boy at all.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. So ultimately, when they grew up, we grew up. When they blew up, we blew up. That's just the way that it was. And it was, one hand, feeds or washes the other, however you want to say it. We helped each other. And through those interviews, like back then, I didn't care anything about politics.
Yeah.
I just didn't. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't about what beat was coming out or the new album, what show we were performing at, I knew nothing about politics until Paula came. Paula Samad. She came on staff.
Shout out to Paula, man.
Yes. And she started talking about politics, and I was like, what?
We didn't know nothing about that.
Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 19. You know what I'm saying? I could vote, but why?
She let us know how important the female aspect of hip hop is important. Sometimes the females get left out of hip hop. Their contribution is not important. But Paula brought a little structure. Okay, yes, Pikahsso is raw.
Yeah, it was structure.
Pikahsso is raw. James and Aziz is controversial. I mean, whatever, cocky or arrogant. I hate to say that, but it is what it is. But she brought that structure. So thank you, Paula Samad. I was just a wild guy that just like women and just doing hip hop. That's what I was. Just a wild guy. Like, hey, just whatever. I'm like I am now. I really like to go from here.
Yeah.
Everything, I don't like to go from paper. Everything I got is in my brain.
Well, she did bring a little accountability.
Yeah.
And she also brought just the understanding that, what you say and what you put out there, you got to be mindful of that.
She didn't like some of the stuff I said too.
Oh, she didn't like some of the stuff I said because I used to be vindictive. I would look. I used in the early days. I used the magazine to get at my foes and destroy them. And so, I look back on it and see how petty it was.
Did it make you feel bad?
Yeah, because I was like, man, what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? I'm actually, in other words, I was doing donuts in a Bentley.
Damn.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, I should be cruising with the top down and really enjoying myself. But nah, I got to show you that I can get and put it in your face. And, I'm glad we moved past that because everybody that I had a disagreement with, I respect now. And, I consider them to be close friends. And, but the magazine grew. It kept growing.
You made me think it's not to cut you off. I got to say this. And all you artists out there, all you writers out there, when you say mean stuff about artists, that stuff never go away. The pain from that. I got people that hit me up about stuff that I said in '94. Like, my bad. I'm not trying to. I'm full accountable. I believe in full accountability. Yeah. And I don't like I said, but my bad, my dude. I didn't mean to hurt people, even off the record. So sometimes when you like they say, Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. Man, we didn't realize that. We making jabs at people like, y'all took that stuff serious like that?
Right.
Dude, we were just being silly. Like we was doing like behind the scenes, cracking jokes.
Right.
Some people are not built for that kind of stuff. They're not built of that Teflon, and their hearts is weak. We got a lot of
weak-hearted individuals.
We got a lot of weak men out here. They can't take it. They weak.
Yeah. But
this is what it is.
But you got to understand that we took a chance when no one else would. And it's a coin has two sides. There's a brave side, and then there's a very reckless side. Sometimes bravery can be reckless.
I was very
You understand
reckless.
what I'm saying? And the guys that jumped out there to make stuff happen and did stuff that others wouldn't do, sometimes we accidentally ran over a couple of people in the process of doing it. But those are the experiences that we learn from and grow from simultaneously. I mean, that's just life. And as we grow, we recognize what we were, things we did, we gained from it. And people who are rich can tell you the same thing, because wherever there's a rich person, there's a poor person saying, man, they did me like this. They ran me over. They disrespected me. And then that rich person is saying, you know what? I realized I ran you over and disrespected you. I was so focused on what I was doing that, guess what? I just wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry, but they don't get that money back.
I will say one thing about us too.
I'm not giving that money back.
As raw as we may have been, as carnivorous we may have been, appeared to be, we always, under all that, we always had a good, pure heart.
Yeah.
When you peel back the layers of a man's heart, that's what tell you what he really is. So I can honestly say, Aziz, James, we weren't no bad people. We were just some arrogant battle axes, arrogant.
Confident.
I can't even think of the word to describe what we were, but you know that's what we were.
I mean, we had the hubris. Our hubris was off the chain. And so, you couldn't tell us nothing. But if we allowed you to tell us something, then we wouldn't have been who we are, and we wouldn't have accomplished the things because people told us we couldn't do it. People told us we couldn't perform. We did everything everybody told us that we couldn't. And we utilized our strength, which was the magazine. And as the magazine expanded and the different topics of conversation, as the magazine expanded with what we were discussing. So we went from just music to music reviews and articles about shows to politics.
We was even doing what you call the techno music, Hazy Days Collective.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
them parties in the middle of nowhere.
Raves,
the raves,
doing everything.
We used to go to raves in the middle of big open fields. That's back in the 90s. You ever been to some stuff like that, y'all? For those who don't know, it's called the Hazy Days Collective.
Yeah,
they used to have shows in the middle of big cornfields in the middle of where was that? Look,
I don't know where we was at.
In Corsicana, in the middle of the country. It'd just be a lot of people just partying. We was doing it called Hazy Days Collective, and Mike B just driving a Mr. Bill. We were just hitting the pavement movement, and Mike had the little gray car and the
Civic,
little car.
Yeah,
boy, we used to go everywhere in that little in that car, no air, making it happen, man.
Hey, man, we did what we did.
So, like I said, man, I don't like to apologize. To me, I think apologies for who you really are is a sign of weakness. And I really don't like to apologize for nothing I've done. And I don't really like to, I'm really like I'm sorry, kowtow. That's not me. To me, I think we need more stronger black men. And the more I speak, it's like I'm kind of like getting my strength back as we speak doing this,
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I'm not apologizing really for nothing. It was all a necessary portion of the evolution. A meteor had to strike the planet Earth in order for us to have it to kill the dinosaurs so we could exist. We were just one of the meteors. But guess what? It helped progress and put us on the map and open up some doors. And so when we think about the other people that we had UGK.
UGK on the film.
Yeah, cover. Super Tight. That was when Super Tight actually came out.
Rest in peace, Pimp C. Shout out to Bun B, who got that new restaurant called Trill Burger. I want a Trill Burger. Hey, Bun B.
But Bun B's coming. Bun B is coming to the Starvyn show.
Tell them your affiliation with UGK. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, man.
I remember you told me when I first met you.
Straight out of high school, met UGK. And I was the dude that was at the shows throwing out the scratch me on my booty shirts off the stage into the crowd. A friend of mine, his cousin was their manager. He brought me on, and then I just got real cool with the guys. And, wherever they were, I was. So when I came back full circle and did the magazine, it was a real high point for me to be able to have UGK on this magazine because they did so much for me. And Pimp C did so much for me when it comes to being a producer because I mastered what he taught me in reference to live music play and everything. So we leveraged these relationships over the years, and what ended up happening is we grew as individuals. So once Starvyn actually dissipated, and we'll get to that, we ended up utilizing all of those skills and that accumulated knowledge to actually grow as individuals in life over the past 30 years, period.
Man, and who's some other people we on those covers? Arrested Development.
Yeah, South Coast, which had
Cottonmouth.
Shout
out to Cottonmouth Jesse.
Absolutely.
He probably the only DFW artist that's been on the front cover of Starvyn.
I think so.
Shouts out to Cottonmouth. He made Starvyn history.
Yeah.
That was South Coast. Cottonmouth, I don't know the other people in the group. I know Cottonmouth's a part of South Coast.
Yeah.
They was on the front cover. I showed that to Cotton. I'm going to show it to him again.
Right.
Who else? Arrested Development. I remember meeting, I don't remember so much. I remember interviewing him, but I do recall, what's the girl name in Arrested Development? The dark skin by my skin complexion.
I don't remember.
She was so nice to me. I remember meeting her backstage and
Razadon and Baba.
I think that's I can't remember. She was in Arrested Development.
I'm really saying lyrics.
I don't know what they call her, but I'm getting old, man. But I remember she was backstage. But who else we had on the cover? Greg Street, I think.
Yeah. Oh man, Greg Street, bro.
Greg Street was on the back of the Arrested Development.
Yeah. Oh, Greg Street.
And Jazz Mind have something to do with that cover.
Yeah.
Jazz
Greg
Mind Production
Street helped us out.
Shouts out to Greg Street.
Greg Street.
He out in Atlanta now. He used to be 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, it's time for Street to Rock.
Oh man. Yabba Dabba Do. That used to be the jam right there.
That was MC Breed did that. So shouts out to
Breed, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
So we had all these covers, we did all these magazines, and then things started to get really big for us. So what ended up happening is that's when we brought in Cedric. We met Cedric. He was over at the Infomart. Yeah. So Cedric comes into play, and his graphics is what Cedric and the design, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he's done. That's his life. And so we needed to up our game because we were trash.
Remember that little scanner we used to use? Like you do the scanner like this?
Yeah.
Hold
it
with your hand.
That we had to roll. Shaking. Yeah, we had to roll with our hand over the. It was bad. And you better go straight, or the picture would look like somebody's doing the snake. You know what I'm saying? It was real.
Yeah, the scan just like that.
yeah. Put a little.
Your hand
put it
shaking
up against the wall,
like Bob Dole.
Yeah. So when Cedric came in, we started to. The graphics got better. The look got better. And then the investors started to come into play. So now people are talking to us about investing in the magazine. And then we're like, oh, okay, we made it. This is the big time. We made it. This is huge. And so when the investors came, all of a sudden we find ourselves with Jodeci, Faith Evans, and somebody else. It was Jodeci, Faith, and we were at the Iguana Mirage. And we actually did a photo shoot at the show. So in the back room, I guess the green room, we set up lights. We did a whole photo shoot of Faith and Jodeci. And they were going to be featured on the next, which ended up being the last Starvyn cover. And so we did the whole magazine, laid it out, start talking to the investors, and 1 month goes by. 2 months go by. 3 months, 3 strikes are out. Because we were too young and our attention span wasn't that great.
I know somebody we left out that we interviewed.
Who was that?
Redman. And Lords of the Underground. I interviewed, me and Mike B interviewed Lords of the Underground in New Orleans with TLC. This and that with TLC, Left Eye, Chili.
Rapping Forte.
What's her name? Left Eye, Chili. What's the other girl name? T-Boss. Yes. Left Eye is, rest in peace to Left Eye. Yeah. She's probably one of the most humblest human beings that I ever met, as far as like on that level. She was so nice. And I took a picture with her, and that same person that deleted my Outkast interview got that picture too. Yeah, I'm mad. I still hold a little grudges. I'm keeping it real. So I know I told him I wouldn't say nothing, but that shit pisses me off. But big Vanessa Barrier had us out there in New Orleans. That's when we interviewed Lords of the Underground. They deleted my. I said I can't do it, man. Fuck it. Man, they deleted my Left Eye picture, man. Fuck this shit, man.
You know what? I think something's bothering you.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, check this out, man. When you got a boyfriend or a husband out there, and they got some Goog heirlooms and stuff like that, you can't just throw this stuff away just because you mad or are you jealous. Fuck that. This shit means a lot to us. This is all we got. It's all I got. This is all most of us got. If something happened to me, that's all I got. I know women out there and your girlfriends and kids might not understand it, but that's all we got.
Yeah.
It might not mean nothing, but it means something to us, all this stuff, man.
My man's serious about this.
This shit is all we got. So I know my girlfriend threw my equipment in the trash. Why? Do something else. I'd rather you burn my Nikes up. So burn them up, but not my hip hop. No, let me keep that. This one girl took one of my posters one time and ripped it like this. She took pleasure in that shit, man. What the hell? That's evil. Evil. That was just devilish of you. So I just get that out of my system, man. I gotta be me. Shit. I gotta be me, man. So we had a whole lot of cool stuff, but like I said, but Redman and Guru, rest in peace, told me I had a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Guru told me, hey, man, whatever you do, don't film me. I ain't Tony Montana. Don't film me with no drink. That's what Guru from Gangstar told me. He was on the side of Exodus. He said, who you think I am, Tony Montana? He got mad at me. I'm being Pikahsso. Hey, man, we had the little camera because we was doing just like we documented. He said, hey, man, don't film me with no drink, man. I know you're from somewhere, man. That's how he said it. Guru, his voice talk like that. Don't film me, man. People can look at that stuff and say I got anything in that cup. That's how he said. That's my Guru impersonation. But Guru got mad at me because we took a picture. We filmed him on the side of Exodus. He told me don't ever film nobody with something in a cup. He said they can say, the media can say anything in that. So that's what I learned from the great Guru.
It's a learning moment.
Shouts out to Guru from, that's what he told me on the side of Exodus on Elm Street and Crowders, which now it's not even a club no more. It's like a biker bar. Yeah. But shouts out to Guru and Redman. We interviewed Redman right in front of that same club in the middle of the street with tissue in his nose. That's when Redman was fat. That's from Redman that ate his younger self. Now he's lost weight. You know what I'm saying? That's now the skinny punchy, haggard Redman we see now. But that Redman back then he was cool as hell.
Yeah.
He had some tissue in his nose, and he was very hyperactive like me. I liked him because I like him. He crazy like me. I like crazy people. So shouts out to Redman and Guru.
Yes.
And Lords of the Underground, who was cool as hell. Lord Chief Rocker, #1 Chief Rocker. Lord Chief Rocker.
To the Lord.
What's that one song? Lord Jazz, hit me one time. I used to love when that shit came on the song. Lord Jazz, hit me one time. It's like, excuse me, it's like a secret beat that come on after the song. And the video, excuse me, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Lord Jazz, hit me. No, you got me humming.
Yeah. I don't know.
He know what I'm talking about. Lord Jazz had his own song on it. And that video, it comes on after the video. Anyway, I met them in New Orleans. Shouts out to, rest in peace to Vanessa Berry. She died of blood cancer. I went to her funeral. And Lou Calhoun was there too. My God, Lou Calhoun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, thank you, Lou Calhoun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I forgot about her. She was at the funeral.
Okay.
And Nana Lee, and they was, hey, they recognize the star. I can read that.
Yeah.
Y'all still remember me? Yeah. So
Right.
thank you to Lou Calhoun. She worked for, what label that was? I don't know. But thank you. I'm just reminiscing.
Right.
Look, man.
Right.
They getting this.
So real quick,
Bro.
since we're reminiscing, once the magazine kind of died off because the lack of negotiations with the investors, and we kind of went on our separate ways, but we had a lasting impression. So people remembered us. They asked us what happened. You know, from that point, just briefly, what did you do?
Me and James, see, Starvyn is kind of like Wu-Tang. We want to be honest with you. Everybody break up their own. You got the Sons of Man and da-da-da-da. Me and James started a group called Dysfunctional, which means two disillusioned brothers trying to function in a world that shuns you all. And I went up there after Starvyn. I was like, man, we ain't doing no Starvyn. I went up to, we did a song called Field Trip. Cause we seen that song with that movie with Treacherous. They remember the South? I can't think of the name of the movie. So they had the fake Southern accents. What's the name of the movie? Tretch had a movie came out back in time. Anyway, we had a song called Field Trip, which was inspired by that because we didn't think they were representing the South right. No offense to Tretch, but Tretch wasn't from the South. So we went up there, and I went to Radio Day, K104. I did this right after Starvyn, Dysfunctional. And I seen Nana Lee. She stayed across the street from me when I was a young guy. And when I lived in Oak Cliff on a street called D. Hayes behind Beckley, St. Jim, Nana Lee. She said, I remember you. I said, I'm bringing my stuff up here. Hey, come back up here Monday. I'll let you do the Skip Murphy Morning Show intro. So after Starvyn, what's that station? Or what's the #1 station? Your radio's on 104. They come on every morning for like 3-4 years, maybe 5 maybe. So thank you to Nana Lee. So after Starvyn, it evolved into other things. And then we started doing Eargasm promotion. Me and James were doing promotion for Duck Down with Drew Ha, Shucky Ducky, all of them. We Ruck. I even got the Duck Down polo. It's at the house. Drew Ha, Shucky Ducky, Helter Skelter, OGC Original Gun Clapper. We was promoting for them down here. So that's what we evolved. Then it evolved into your favorite Red Rum. Red Rum. So that's how I'm making a long story short.
It's Red Rum.
Red Rum. We was promoting in so all this stuff started from Starvyn. Me and James still trying to keep it going. Skip Murphy promoting for Duck Down. We in the parking lot passing our flyer for our game type promotion. Me and James, we running to Zero from Red Rum Records. And Zero took us to the studio, and I met Google. Google said, "Who are you, fool?" Pikahsso, man, would you do rap? I'm on Google album Repent. Next thing I'm on tour. We get a distribution deal with Mercury and Private Eye Record, which was distributed by Private Eye, which was ran by a guy named Joe Iskro. Joe Iskro is one of the guys that created like part of the payola, all that kind of stuff like that. And street promotions, a mob guy. He got a book called The 7 Deadly Sins. Read it. Telling how radio was basically how they was doing radio back in the day. So we was Private Eye Mercury. Me and Google up in a Rodeo Drive with Norman Winters. That's the publicist for Lucille Ball and Eazy-E. That's what all that stuff happened. So all this stuff is like the butterfly effect. You do the Starvyn leads to this, it leads to that. Next thing you know, bam, I'm up in LA in the Universal office with jail felony and doing all kinds of stuff, man. Gonzo, rest in peace. Just doing stuff with the whole Mercury system. So all that stuff kind of happened after the Starvyn. And then we did PPT, Dallas Maverick theme song, me, Picnic and TD. DallasPeaks.com. Oh my God, so much stuff. The stuff I'm doing by myself. I'm a force on my own stuff too.
Facts.
The puppets and stuff, man. You name it, I've
Facts.
did it. The Fat Albert in the Hood.
Facts.
Fat Albert in the Hood. This all years later. Fat Albert. Me and TD took Fat Albert and brought Fat Albert. Me and Tahiti. I love Tahiti. Tahiti said, Pikahsso, you crazy, man. Let's do something. Let's just take Fat Albert and just. Can you talk like I said? Who TD was doing? Hey. I'm looking. I said, man, he ain't said that's Mushmouth. You think you do Mushmouth? Abba tuba faba alba, yuba bubba bubba. We put it online. Questlove shares it. Questlove shares it to Q-Tip. Q-Tip shares it to Erykah Badu. So Erykah Badu, Questlove, and Q-Tip is what took Fat Albert in the Hood off on Twitter. Because Bavu Blake said, Pikahsso, man, what you doing? You should start you a Twitter. Shouts out to Bavu Blake. He said, start you a Twitter. Next year, I'm getting Q from World Star. So that's how I met. That's how I start getting all these interviews I'm getting. Because we just start being crazy, it's like the people that's crazy are the people that change the world. You got to be crazy enough to believe in yourself. Facts. You know how people be like, the hell y'all, the nerves of you having a podcast. Potatron.com, Potatron Network, the nerves of you. Who do you think you are? I'm bold and I'm brave enough to do that. So that stuff evolved into Mark Cuban, meeting him, just so much stuff. We did the Dallas Maverick theme song.
Yes.
2006, PPT. Shouts out to Ricky Smiley and Head Crack. They helped us out so much. So that's pretty much, I'm trying to make a long story short to happen from 94 up until 2006. Then after that, I got depressed. I just said, I don't even like looking at myself in the mirror.
Facts.
I hated myself. So people think I'm always joking. They don't know what's behind all the jokes. I hated looking at myself. I'm got all my lights off in my bathroom. I don't even like looking at my face because I'm evolving as a man. So I got really fucking depressed. I realized that same magical stuff that was working as a kid wasn't working as a man. I had to evolve to a man. When you're not a man, you put away childish things. That comes in Corinthians. I'm a Muslim, but that was in the Bible. And I got that from watching Child's Play 3 and Chucky. I'm a big Chucky fan. He seen a guy playing with the doll. He said, Corinthians, wow, that's what happened to me. I was a boy playing, I was a man playing like a boy. I didn't want to grow up. Magazine covers on the wall, still trying to stick to that 94 mentality. But sometimes if you don't change, God will make you change. He made me change. And I got really depressed. I wasn't handsome no more. Women, get out of my house. Wow. I was spoiled. Wow. I realized I'm a spoiled brat. These women not impressed by this shit that I did in 94. So I got humble. And when you're not humble, God will bestow humbleness upon you. And the best thing God ever did, and I'm still being humble right now, and I'm not ashamed of it. I am who I am. I'm not ashamed. God took me over. I done stayed on women's couches. I went from all this stuff. I'm standing on somebody's couch. Dallas Maverick things. So we're rowdy, loud, and proud. It's like when you look at my montage in my brain is like a neighborhood and a montage is a sound, a cornucopia sound. We're rowdy, loud, and proud. Starvyn. Pikahsso, verbally. All this stuff is going in my brain. And I'm laying on the couch, but I'm still dreaming. So that's what happened to me after Starvyn. After all the years, you have the crescendo, then you're going to have that decrescendo. And the decrescendo is where that makes boys into men, or turn men into boys. That's where you find out who sit down on the toilet and pee. When that decrescendo happened. Because being young is that's the easy part.
Right.
Getting old is a trick. Can you get old? I don't think a lot of y'all built for these graves. They're not built for
That's
it.
real spill. That's real spill.
Hope I didn't give them too much. What you think?
Oh man, you know the seasoning is strong on there. You got a rub, you got a brisket rub on there.
That brisket rub. Hey man, but I didn't like looking at myself. I'm being dead serious with you.
I understand.
You never been to that point like?
No.
I don't even like looking at myself.
No,
I haven't been there.
I haven't been there. But I've been close. I've been somewhere similar. But so after Starvyn, I went back to the hood.
Whoa.
I went back to Hamilton Park, and I had to kind of take what I learned, from being in Starvyn and everything. I had to take that and make that into something. So that's when I opened up a clothing store called This and That, right down there with my friend Julie. And it was like a clothing store / I had mixtapes and CDs and everything in there because initially we were right next to Mr. Blues. And Mr. Blues moved out. When he moved out, he plugged us with the distribution to have music in the community. So had the store, got robbed a couple times, It happens. And then started to work with D-Light, which was a great experience for me.
Tell some of the people tell the people who Delight. You just can't brush over that name. Tell them some of the people that he produced for.
Man, Link. You talking about Janet Jackson,
and Busta Rhymes,
En Vogue, Nas, and Lauryn Hill. If I Rule the World. You know, one of the dopest. Look, I thought I knew production until I saw him touch the keys and the modulator at the end of the keyboard, and I said, I don't really play the keys. That's when I knew I didn't play the keys. I was a sampling dude that knew about 2 chords. So got to work with him. Then after that, I got real spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Everything became spiritual for me. I started to read a book a day, or if not every 2 days. It really wasn't about music so much. I've read the Bible 9 times, the Quran 3, the Gilgamesh epics, the Enuma Elish. I've basically read all of that. I started to learn, Arabic and Hebrew because I was trying to find my way into the world, and I didn't want to believe. I'm not into believing. I'm into knowing. I can believe. You can tell me something and I can believe it, but I'm not going to rest with that. You tell me, I'm about to go find out, but I'm going to use the belief foundation that you gave me so I could know. And once I know, I no longer have to believe. And that's something that I carry with myself on a daily basis. I try not to believe. I try to know. There are things you cannot get away from believing, but you believe at first and then you know. So either you know God or you don't know God. Either you know you have a podcast show to record at 1:00, or you believe you have a show to record at 1:00. If you don't know, you believe. If you know, and consistency, evidence, experience, and reason will make you say that I know we have an appointment at 1:00. So that's kind of how I lived. And I studied, the Nation, the 5%, the Problem book. I studied with Dr. Malachi Z.
Show him that Hamilton Park book right there?
It's the Hamilton. I'm going to pop that up. So I studied with Dr. York, Malachi Z. York, Malachi Zodak, and did a lot of just spiritual inward type of thing, just trying to have some introspection and learn about who I am as a person and what's my purpose for existing. Because I felt like what the world was giving me didn't quite fit with who I knew myself to be. So once I went on this spiritual journey, I wasn't rapping, I wasn't producing, I was producing because I was hosting at Reciprocity. So I was hosting Reciprocity, which was huge, which was the ranks of the Tishas, the Emotion Brown, Bavu, Erykah Badu. Used to bring everybody through
Schoolyard flunkies from Killeen.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love to hear them dudes flow. Yeah, they used to come to Killeen and desecrate the mic.
Yeah, that was dope. So I was doing that and more on some spoken word stuff. Joined the ranks of Squad X as more on the business side because they were some great guys. They were really dope.
Massive.
And so Massive, Jigsaw was actually a part of the Starvyn artist crew.
Sure.
Him and
Animal House.
Animal House. They were part of Starvyn. So and that's how I got introduced to Squad X. So did that. Squad X kind of dissipated, went their own way, but man, Massive and I stuck together, formed Squad. We dropped the X because we didn't want to be unknown anymore. So we went to Squad, which was me, Massive, and Alchemy Jones, or Zayn at the time.
Baby Doll. That's what I call it. Baby Doll.
So we did that. And then Zayn moved to Atlanta, and at that point we became Slump, did the whole Slump movement, which was scientists living under Moorish principles, which was something that I had been working on for a minute, and I finally found somebody. It was a big movement. It was huge. We did a bunch of great stuff. Massive and I were the Slump Masters. We got a song in You Got Served, King's Ransom, Vegas Bachelor Party, Dude, Where's My Car 2? We're in a bunch of video games. We did a remix for Nappy Roots on their second album, the first single, Round the Globe. Then I went on to win the 2004 Source Unsigned Hype MC Battle Championship at the Source Awards in Miami. And then I traveled around just battling people. Swan, I've been in the Double Doors in Chicago. I was in Detroit at 8 Mile. I was in Pontiac. I was destroying people. That's what I did while still having a job and doing this marketing and promotion stuff that really picked up from Starvyn. Starvyn opened up the doors.
It's an incubator.
I was a national marketing director for the Lipton Brisk hip hop tour and all of that. And then Massive and I we did some shows in New York, and we ended up going on tour for the Vibe Black College tour by way of Ali Muhammad. Shout outs to Ali Muhammad, who runs Revolt right now in Atlanta. So we was on that tour, rocking shows. We were the only unsigned hype. We were the only unsigned group on the tour. We were on there with Killer Mike, Twista, you name it. We were the only unsigned people that was rocking shows, and people was like, who are you guys? So once we did all of that, we almost had a deal. We had a deal with Atlantic through Mike Karen, but then Sylvia Rome said we need him on Elektra, so she offered the deal, so we couldn't sign to Atlantic, and then we were waiting on the deal from Elektra, and then Sylvia Rome left Elektra and went to Motown. Different priorities, things kind of fell apart. I wanted to become Clark Kent at this point. I did the Slumpville project with Classic and Soul and Uptight. Then I did my Bro Mitzvah final goodbye to hip hop, which was cool for me. It was one of my best projects. And then I went and became a 25/8 dad. And I started the youth program, got involved with my community in Hamilton Park, and I was doing Juneteenth events. I was part of the Civic League and helping the community, and that's what my life was. And then Fatima and Nasir came, moved to the other side of town, boys grew up, and then I found myself wondering, who am I? Because when Obama became president, I became extremely political at that point.
I was doing a whole lot of hood rat shit myself.
Okay. But I became extremely political. And once that happened, my life, I just started to see things differently. And I began to embrace, that side. But now I'm like full circle, and you can't deny who we are. You understand what I'm saying? We are hip hop.
Yeah.
We are all of that. And now, instead of saying, you know what I want to do, 30 years later, let's talk about what we've done. Let's talk about who we met on our path. Let's bring those individuals to this show so they can tell people how they made it and what they went through in order to get to their pot of gold or their level of success, however they defined it. We need to bring all of those people that we met over the years, and when they need to sit at this table.
Well, you had Andre, Big Boy, come on.
We need it.
Well, Biggie and them dead, they can't come, but they would. I'm sure they would. But
yeah. So that's really.
Now you know what? I can't
about.
help but be me. Shit.
Yeah.
I told my homie I wasn't gonna. But no, man. You know what's crazy? Something you made me think. Something that I left out that we did.
Yes, sir.
Me and James had started a CD store called Eargasm.
Yes, you did.
And it was a double weighted store, man. We had some of the most powerful people walk through that. Paul Wall, Chamillionaire, Slim Thug, Young Buck.
Facts.
Ludacris.
Major distributor of Slump.
I forgot all about that. How did I forget that?
I don't know.
How did I forget Eargasm?
That was our main distribution spot.
Man, we Chamillionaire and Paul Wall. Matter of fact, shouts out to Chamillionaire. I heard my foot performing at the South by Southwest, and he got me backstage at the Kanye West Levi's party. Thank you, Chamillionaire. I was like lumping around, but he remembered that. Tila. I remember Ludacris and pulled up. Just so many people at that powerful store, and Eargasm just came to a big. It just came bigger. It's just when you're around great minds, great things happen. It ain't all about the money. Facts. James, the other guy I'm talking about, we gonna have him up here. He said, "I'm gonna get him up here." When you're around great thinkers and great minds, great things happen. And as raw as I am, and as off the coof as I am, there's greatness in my rawness. Yeah. Even my mama said, "You got greatness. You look a little stir crazy." My mama, rest in peace. She died January 8, 2021 in Atlanta. But my mama said, My son, my oldest son, he little different, but I love him, and that's just who. But you follow his mind. There's a method to his madness.
Yeah. Mama know.
My mama knew. My mama nurtured everything you see about me. She made me to like this accidental uridate. My mama was like an accidental customato. That's what she was, like a female version of Customato. She was just like, "That's my son. I don't know what he need, but he need that mixer. He need to have that. And he teach him this verbal pugilism."
Okay.
So a shout out to my mama, she made me into the prodigy people may call me that I am. I don't like to call myself, I think that's so corny, but my mama, but that Eargasm and all that, and that's just how my brain works. My brain just bounces around. I'm like the new version of Herman said, but we did a lot of cool stuff, and I don't know, man. I hope everybody entertained.
Yeah. Hey, let me give a shout out to Doc also because
The Doc?
yeah, when I stopped rapping and I did the bro mitzvah,
Yeah.
and Doc and I, we did what we kind of call, it was almost like American Idol before American Idol. And it was at Goodnight Audio. And I said, Doc told me he had beats from Dre.
Mm-hmm.
These are Dr. Dre beats.
I remember that night.
And so we called everybody and said, hey, DOC got Dre beats. Everybody, if you want to rock on these beats, come to Goodnight Audio. We start at 9 in the morning. And when I tell you that line stretched down the street and around the corner to be able to come into the booth where DOC was working the board playing Dre beats.
He on some blue Timberlands and I remember.
Man.
I remember what he had on that night.
Look, the line was long, it was thick, and that was one of the moments where I realized the influence that people have that, in my opinion, I'm saying, I don't know if Doc realizes how important he is. Of course he does. But from my perspective, I had never been directly associated with somebody from my city that could pull that off, where people would come and line up and stand in the line for hours waiting to get in the booth with Doc.
Doc, bring that copy. I know you got a copy of the recording because I messed up that day. I was so damn nervous.
It was awesome.
God, my damn, I was nervous.
It was awesome.
As dope as I am, that day I was not dope. I'll admit it.
It was awesome.
But thanks for the opportunity, Doc and Aziz. I appreciate y'all having me.
It was awesome, bro.
I remember the day Doc called me on the phone with Vernon and told me to bust. I heard it. I don't want to make it bust. Oh, shit, that's Doc. He just said bust. I never forget no shit like that of. And I just started, whatever rap I said, him and Vernon. Vernon called him on the phone. I was with Red Rum.
Yeah.
And I'm with Red Rum. You know how Google is.
Right.
I don't want them really to know, but Google found out. He went with me that night.
Yeah.
Google found out. Remember? We was out there Good Night all day. I'm like, man, I don't know how Google gonna feel about this, but I don't want to pass this opportunity up. So I'm like, I was just gonna go sneak and do it. Somebody told Google, Pikahsso for the dude. Oh, man. He said, I'm going with you, fool. Like, shit, come on. Right. So I was with Red Rum. I know I beige like make fun of that. I mean, Walter. But
you know what? That day, that is what formed that formed the Slumpville project that we did. Because Doc was like, he chose classic, he chose soul, and he chose Uptight, which he had already worked with.
Uptight.
You know what I'm saying? And we're praying for you, Uptight, hoping you get better. You know what I'm saying? You're in our hearts and our minds all the time. You're our brother. I wouldn't even be doing this right now if it weren't for Uptight, who's been encouraging me over the years to stop pretending to be a regular person and put my cape back on.
That is so uptight.
Yeah, stop being, you're not regular, bro. That's what he told me. And we're praying for him and his family. But he's the one, that project came from that. And, you know, that's kind of what led us to where we are right now. And, you know, it's kind of weird because, you know, we reconnected over the years. Yeah. But as you talk, even in this forum, you know, some of the stuff you say is shocking to me sometimes. And I have to get taken aback by it. But I feel like we're on to something.
Man, I got that from my grandmama. My grandma from Aberdeen, Mississippi. They sat on the porch, they shucked peas, and they were brutally honest. You get your stinking button, get your ass in the tub, Terry. You stink. That's where I got that from. My grandmama there. My mama, Terry, you smell like a man. Should no grown man smell like that, Terry. It's a scandalous how you smell. That's how my grandmama, it's a Lord knows Fanny, oh my God, Fanny did take them clothes and burn them. Like she said, her friend, I take a match to them clothes and burn them. Should no man smell like it's a Lord knows that's a mustard man. I got that from my grandmama. I had a rap. I sit on the porch with my grandmama shucking them peas. Watching, I listen to my grandma. I'm like, man, they were so raw and honest, but these spirits were beautiful. If you could look past it, they had beautiful hearts. They'll cook dinner for you. But they gonna tell you stinking. One time I took a bath in some Downy. And it made my balls itch. My nuts would itch for like a week. My grandma said, Terry, I want to see a lather. Whew. I took a bath in some Downy, man. My nuts itch for like about 2 weeks. My say, I don't see no lather, Terry. My grandma was on my ass, man. I was like, shit, man. She made me. she, man, my grandma made me take a bath, but she wanted me to take a bath. She said, "You don't look like you took no bath, Terry." So I went and poured some down, and man, she made whatever you do not put no fabric softener on your genitals. Man, my nuts itch for like 2 weeks, my nigga. But I got that, so I equate that to my grandma and them. That rawness that I got, just say whatever. I'm becoming I'm becoming him. I try to be all well spoken. I am well spoken, but that nigga in me come out. Like I told him, like I told Aziz, man. I said, man, I was telling Aziz, but I like that woman. I'm still attracted to that. Ooh, wow, she got little stretch marks. She got mental issues a little bit. I like them a little cuckoo a little bit. I'm still attracted to low vibrational type women. That's South Dallas in me. Whenever I deny, I don't win. When I start talking all big and that's not me. I'm a smart guy, but I still like an ignorant girl a little bit. If you ain't jealous a little bit, I think you don't love me. I like a woman, don't get slapped. Ooh, she like me. I like that shit. But I'm not ghetto. I'm not no troublemaker. But when you come, we from in South Dallas, Oak Cliff, Hamilton Park. I'm still attracted to that darkness. I really am. That's the reason why you see me with the Mike Tyson. Read that book. I don't just got Mike Tyson up for no reason. He's my muse. I don't really believe in heroes. To me, I think a hero is a sign of weakness, looking up to people. I don't look up to very many people. I don't. It's weak. I don't even really know if I can look up to my own daddy, to be honest with you. That's just how I feel. But I like what I like a person just say it how it feels. So all my rawness came from my grandmama, James Anna Moore. May she rest in peace. Ida Mae, Fannie Moore. I still remember their name. Them women gave me so much knowledge. Grandma, I paid. No, you may not pay. Oh, grandma, I never long. She used to give me these little fables and stuff. They used to say. They said there was a monkey on the train. And a monkey and a giraffe and a dog on the train. I'm just gonna say that. And the conductor said, "I motioned the ugliest motherfucker on this train gonna have to start this fire." The monkey said, "I'd be damned if I start a fire." Think about this shit. That means you think you ugly. He said, "I motioned that the ugliest motherfucker on this train gonna have to start this fire to keep the train going." The monkey hopped up and said, "I'd be damned if I start a fire." That's the kind of stuff that I got from my grandma. Them little country backwoods fables. They burnt trash in Aberdeen, Mississippi. You been to Mississippi? If you go to, they still burn trash. If you go to Mississippi, and I don't believe in plagiarism. My homeboy Dallas Long, he thunked. I found him as somebody that thunk like me. If you go to Mississippi and you let go of your inhibition, you still can feel the spirit of the people that died in Mississippi. Used to be a white man named Billy Sub. My grandma was scared of him. Watch that white man. That's where I got that from. So you look at me, I'm a raw country dude that got way too much smart. I got that country and I got that city in me. And it's a white guy named Billy Suggs. My mom said, watch him. My grandma was still burnt trash and they still had that same mentality. They came from Strong, Mississippi, and they was like they did sharecropping. My mama and them came from them people, and I still channel their energy, the wood forks. That's our people. People don't know they people like that. That's why people laugh at guys like me. I'm fine, that's cool, laugh. But they laugh, but when you peel back my knowledge, because it's in the wood forks. My grandmama and them, they got me this way, and I don't never want to change from that. And I know my daughter don't like me. I know she don't like some of the things I got. Sometimes you ain't supposed to like me. Sometimes I ain't made to be like. God didn't put me this earth to be like. God put me this earth to be learned. I'm a vessel. I am the river through which your thought flows.
Starvyn, the show is official. It's official like a ref with a whistle. And
I heard that's dope.
I'm looking forward to it. And I guess this was kind of a taste and introduction to kind of go and let you know where we came from and where we're going. So politically, financially, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an artist, we are the show to watch. Yeah. If you have a business and you need some level of mentorship, hopefully we'll be able to provide you with a little something by inviting someone on the show, if we don't personally know, that can kind of fill the void and bridge the gap when it comes to what it is that you need to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. So we want to provide these appetizers. We want to give you a taste of what we have to offer, and we want to skew it on the Barbie. So with that being said, man, it's 2023. It's been a long time, but we back like we never left.
Shouts out to Mikey Culture.
Hey, Mike
Idris
B.
and Bilal.
Yeah, Mike Bailey. You know what I'm saying? Gotta shout him out because we lost days of our lives. We literally would be editing the magazine and a whole day would go by and we never knew it. So he put in a lot of work, and he's not here sitting at this table, but he's here with us right now.
Yeah, Mike B was a very important part of James. Man, I talk to James every day. I mean, sometimes James just called me just so I can say, because you funny. Because you think I'm your personal Cat Williams or some shit. But, hey, man, you know, I just who I am, man. You know what's crazy? I'm not even trying to be fun. I just naturally who I am. I just call it like I am, but I don't mean to hurt nobody. I'm not trying to hurt people.
You're not.
That's not
we know
who
that.
I am. I just like to be... I like to speak how I feel, like he like to speak how he speak.
Yeah.
And I got much respect for, you know, like I said, everybody having us here in this beautiful space, these beautiful graphics.
Look at this.
Look at this shit, man.
Look at this.
This is a blessing.
Look at this.
This ain't supposed to happen to an old nigga like
Look
me.
at this. Somebody look at this.
I look like I got money on that picture.
Look at this.
Shit. I look important.
Look at this.
Did you know how long it took me to save up to get that damn Adidas suit on eBay?
Look at this. Somebody look at this. But
look at who did that? Who you get that from?
Huh?
Somebody look at it. Who's
Look
that?
at this. Look at this. Look at this.
That shit look good, don't it? Cool.
Yeah, I
Graphic
enjoy
by that's the graphic man did that. We got the cool setup, Pototron, the Pototron. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Pototron.
Yeah.
Pototron Network.
Page.
Start your podcast today.
Page.
At Pototron.com. www.pototron.com.
So,
Call now.
I also want to tell everybody, you know, join the Release the Music campaign. We're asking everybody to release the music. There's a lot of music sitting on hard drives, CDs, mini discs, ADATs, DA88s, you know, DAT tapes, cassette Maxell, cassette tapes that was never released. We need you guys to release that music. It's so many different formats. We'll talk about it. We'll have other shows about it. And if you're an artist and you did paintings, release those paintings. If you are a designer, release those designs. Do not leave this planet without your legacy and your footprint, beyond a carbon footprint being left on this planet that shows that you were here. So in 10,000, 20,000 years, when they unearth this section of the world, wherever you are, and they dig it up, they will find and know that you were here. And you're not just a blip on the radar. You existed, you did something, you contributed, and let all of that go. Don't hold on to it. Don't get high off your own supply. Let the music go. Put it out there. We support you. We support all artistic endeavors, and we want people to feel free to explore not just themselves, but the world around them. And it starts with a little introspection, because we come to give you what you want until you learn to want what we have to give. And that's just the facts. This is Starvyn, a taste, an appetizer, a menu, you name it, we claim it, man. The show is going to be great. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube. Hit us up on IG, Facebook, you name it, we claim it, man. I'm like good.
That. I hope y'all enjoyed this verbal culinary dish we just served y'all. Please tune in again. I am Pikahsso.
Big Aziz, and we out.
Starvyn. Nom, nom.